something I talked to Andreas about quite a bit as well,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
it's a big difference between,
Yeah.
because so WaveNet, there was this paper that came out recently that was you take one person's voice and you get them to say something, and then you can
Yeah.
convert it into a different voice. And the question of whether you can convert it into just a different voice generally versus like Barack Obama's voice or Donald Trump's voice or someone specific was quite a big deal, I think. And I don't know if it used GANs, but
there are different technologies out there for doing this.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's at the moment, it's just, if you have the data, it's just a matter of trying out as many different architectures as you can.
Yeah.
So like fake news is about to get a lot scarier.
No, that's the thing that
it's crazy. It's crazy.
Do you think that we're far away from that? Because some people argue that we're already there. Like we've already lived with Photoshop for 10 years, 20 years, whatever.
Yeah.
And we've already seen a lot of fake news. And, when you see a picture of Kim Kardashian, you don't really believe that it's completely undoctored.
I think for people who are just sort of casually scrolling through Facebook or something like that and seeing all this stuff, you see so much junk already anyway that as we've sort of seen in recent elections, often sort of trust in the media has already, for an unfortunately large number of people, kind of gone out the window. But I think it will become increasingly hard for even experts to be able to distinguish this stuff, and that's what's really scary.
Yeah, you don't think we'll fall into like the uncanny valley where it's like somewhat believable but still not quite there? Or
I think the frontier for what's believable will keep getting pushed further and further out.
Yeah.
So.
And I think the interesting thing politically from this kind of stuff is that you don't need to actually produce something that's genuinely fake. You just need to have enough to sow a seed of doubt in whoever is reading this.
That's the thing is even if the truth is out there, like if you kick up enough dust, it can become really hard to separate fact from fiction.
Yeah. So it's like, I don't need to believe that this image was doctored or whatever, it's fake. I just need to have a slight suspicion that it might not be 100% true.
Yeah.
And then it's like, okay, well, I just have this huge barrage of information. So
it just needs to become exhausting enough to sort reality out from just believing what you want to believe.
Yeah.
And that's the sort of thing that keeps me up at night.
Yeah. Well, it's also just having the energy, I think, to which is something that I think about a lot, in the sense that it feels like we're moving towards a world which is more relative, where it's not completely clear what the absolute truth is. And I think this has been happening for a while, where you're expected to be able to entertain uncertainties and to be able to hold, almost like a probability distribution, and in your mind have like, well, this is 0.76 likely to be true or something, and keep adjusting.
Well, there's an old Jewish saying that the sign of an intelligent person is somebody who can keep two simultaneous contradictory thoughts in their head.
Yeah.
Though that's also the kind of classic definition of neuroticism, is if you believe if you can't make up your mind between two contradictory beliefs.
That's interesting. I've heard the same thing argued for the marshmallow experiment, where the kid gets given a marshmallow, and it's basically can the child entertain the idea that I really want this marshmallow, and also if I don't eat it, I'll get more reward later.
Yeah, I guess I think of that more as like like an immediate versus long-term reward thing, rather than like
I think that's the traditional way of interpreting it, but I have heard the other one, which is like
that it's also about an ability to entertain two contradictory thoughts.
Yeah, and I don't know whether one of them is more true than the other.
Yeah, I hadn't really thought about it in that framework before.
But I think this idea of fake news spreading more and more is quite scary, and it'll be interesting to see what happens in the future, whether people develop more robust mechanisms for figuring out what's true, or
well, this is why I only get my news through a very, very carefully curated Twitter feed.
Oh, really?
No, kidding.
Don't really Donald Trump streets.
Exactly.
Yeah.